It starts with a screen, static, flickering images of people, sleeping, eating, smiling, completely unaware. Every room looks normal, every face looks ordinary. But the camera, it never blinks. A voice whispers through a speaker, "We observe, so the world stays balanced." No one knows who said it, no one remembers when it started. And yet, every single person you've ever met might have already been watched. Maybe even you. Welcome to the observer room, where you're never alone, and the watchers don't remember watching. Ethan Cole wasn't supposed to be there. He was just a data analyst at a small tech company. Smart, quiet, the kind of person you forget you've met. One day, an anonymous email landed in his inbox. The subject line read, "You have been selected." The message had no sender, no signature, just a single link. He hesitated for a second, then clicked it. A loading bar appeared on his screen. Then, static filled the display, and a calm, mechanical voice spoke. "Welcome, observer. Your access is granted." Before he could react, Ethan's laptop camera turned on by itself. His screen fractured into dozens of small, live feeds. People in their homes, their offices, their bedrooms. None of them had any idea they were being watched. He froze, his hand hovering over the trackpad. "Is this real?" he whispered to the empty room. The voice returned, its tone unchanging. "You have a task. Watch, record, do not interfere." The feed zoomed in on one girl, Emily Ross, age 26. She was reading a book by a window, with sunlight gently falling on her face. Ethan couldn't understand. Why her? Why him? But the voice was clear, insistent. Observe, nothing more. So, with a deep breath, he did. Days turned into a blur. Ethan watched Emily live her life, waking up, making coffee, talking to her cat. It felt strangely innocent at first, almost like a simulation, a game. He was detached, a silent witness to a life that wasn't his. Until one night, something impossible happened. She looked up from her book and stared directly into the camera, directly at him. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. She shouldn't know. The cameras were supposed to be hidden, encrypted, invisible. But Emily looked straight ahead, her expression unreadable, and said, "Are you watching me?" Ethan slammed his laptop shut, his heart pounding against his ribs. He sat in the darkness, the silence of his apartment suddenly deafening. After a few minutes, he cautiously reopened it. The feed was gone. Instead, the screen displayed a single ominous line of text. "Memory reset initiated." Then, darkness. The next morning, Ethan woke up slumped over his desk with no memory of what had happened the night before. His laptop was closed. His phone showed no new messages. He just brushed it off as a bizarre, vivid dream. But that night, the email came again. "Welcome, observer. Your access is granted." The same interface, the same camera feeds. But now, there were hundreds of them, and among them, Emily was gone. Ethan started noticing changes in himself. He couldn't remember simple things, passwords he used every day, phone calls he'd just had, even entire conversations. It felt like time was skipping, like small moments of his life were being erased and replaced with nothing. At work, his boss pulled him aside, concerned, saying he'd been coming in late all week. But Ethan couldn't remember missing a single day. He felt like he was losing his mind. Then he found something in his apartment. A strange unmarked keycard with the words, "Observer Room 9, etched on it. He had no memory of ever seeing it before. When he held it up to the light, faint, almost invisible numbers appeared. 04:00 a.m. A time. That night, driven by a strange mix of fear and curiosity, he set an alarm for 3:55 a.m. He waited. At exactly 4 a.m., his laptop turned on by itself. The same crackling static, the same disembodied voice. "Welcome back, Observer 9. But this time, the voice felt closer, different, as if someone was standing right behind him. "You've done well, Ethan. You've observed without interference." He spun around in his chair. No one was there. The room was empty. "Now," the voice continued, its tone shifting slightly, "you will enter the room." The next day, Ethan followed the address that had mysteriously appeared on the back of the key card. It led him to an abandoned government building on the outskirts of the city. Inside, the halls smelled of dust and static electricity. Every wall was lined with cameras, small red dots blinking in a perfect, unsettling rhythm. At the end of a long corridor, a single door stood open. Above it, a small plaque read, "Room 9." Ethan's heart hammered in his chest, but he stepped inside. The room was vast. Rows upon rows of monitors filled the space, each one showing a different person, a different life. Hundreds of feeds, thousands. And right in the middle of them all, a single solitary chair. He felt an undeniable pull, and he sat down. The screens flickered. One by one, the feeds went dark, until only his own face remained, reflected on every monitor. The voice returned, whispering from all around him. "You've been watching yourself." Ethan's blood ran cold. Every moment you've forgotten, every blackout, was us rewinding you. He tried to stand, to run, but his legs wouldn't move. He was paralyzed. "You volunteered, Ethan. You wanted to know how it feels to be seen, truly seen." He opened his mouth to scream, but no sound came out. The monitors began to replay moments from his own life. Conversations, dreams, memories, things he'd forgotten, and things that had never even happened. Then the voice changed, becoming softer, almost human. "You are not the first, and you won't be the last." The lights in the room dimmed. The door locked from the outside with a heavy thud, and all that remained was Ethan's reflection, watching himself endlessly. Days turned into loops. Ethan didn't know if he was awake or dreaming. The voice whispered instructions every few hours. Observe, log, record. But he couldn't remember doing any of it. Each time he looked at the monitors, new lives appeared, people he'd never seen before. A boy drawing on his bedroom wall, an old man staring out at the sea, a woman crying silently in her car. Then he noticed something strange, a pattern. Every person at some point seemed to look directly into the camera, and for just a split second, their eyes flickered with a faint digital static. "They see us," Ethan whispered, his voice hoarse. He tried to unplug the system to tear the wires from the walls, but the cables were endless, growing like thick roots across the floor. He managed to pull one free and screamed in agony. For a split second, he saw through someone else's eyes, a janitor sweeping a long hallway, humming a forgotten tune. Then, snap, he was back in the chair, gasping for air. "Each observer is linked," said the voice, now sounding almost sympathetic. "Every memory shared, every secret remembered by no one." He finally understood the horrifying truth. The watchers didn't forget by accident. Their memories were erased on purpose, because if they ever remembered what they saw, they'd never be able to sleep again. One night, a new feed appeared, cutting through the thousands of others. It was Emily. She looked different, tired, older, but she was alive. She was sitting in a dark room, staring right into the lens, right at him. "Ethan," she said quietly, her voice trembling. "If you're seeing this, you're one of them now." He froze, his entire body rigid. She continued, her eyes darting around nervously. "They record everything, every choice, every thought. They make us forget, so we'll just keep watching." Her eyes shifted, raw fear creeping in. "But I remember now. I broke the loop." Static flooded the screen, her face distorting as if the signal itself was tearing her apart. "Find the core," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "Before it finds you." The feed went black. Ethan frantically searched every monitor, every file, every corner of the room, but Emily was gone. In her place, a new message blinked in stark red letters. "Unauthorized memory detected. Observer 9, scheduled for reset." The lights in the room flickered red. A timer appeared on every screen, 60 seconds. He ran. Through dark, endless corridors, where wires pulsed under the floorboards like veins. Every door he opened led to another hallway, another mirror image of the same room. Finally, he found a heavy steel door marked Core Access. He swiped the key card, denied. He swiped it again, denied. Then the voice echoed right behind him, cold and familiar. "You can't escape observation, Ethan." He turned and saw himself standing in the shadows. Another Ethan. Same face, same eyes, same trembling hands. "You're the copy," the double said with a chilling smile. "I'm the original." Before Ethan could even process it, the double continued. "They made hundreds of us, each one forgetting, each one watching. You're not escaping, you're just rewinding." The timer hit 0. The world folded in on itself. Ethan woke up in his apartment. Morning light streamed through the blinds. The smell of brewing coffee filled the air. Everything was normal. He looked at his laptop. No strange emails, no static, no feeds. Just silence. He exhaled, shaking. Maybe it was over. Maybe it was all just a terrible, elaborate nightmare. Then, his phone buzzed on the table. A notification appeared. "Welcome, Observer 10." And for a split second, before the screen went black, he saw his own reflection in the phone's camera, smiling back at him. The voice returned one last time, a soft whisper that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. "Observation complete. Cycle rebooting." Somewhere, deep underground, another room flickered to life. A new observer woke up. A new feed began recording. Faces on screens, lives unfolding, no one aware. And in one of those feeds, a man named Ethan sat quietly at his desk, typing, completely unaware that he was being watched again. The voice whispered, "We are all observers, Ethan. Watching ourselves. Forget." Static fades. The screen goes black. Then a single line of text appears. "If you can't remember what you did last night, maybe you were watching too." The low hum of cameras fades into complete silence.